The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. And good morning. How are you? Welcome to the program. My name is Ron Juckett. It's June 8th, 2022, that we got ourselves a doubleheader for you. The Los Angeles Dodgers, who seem to be running away with the National League West, come to Riverfront Stadium to face the Cincinnati Reds. The Dodgers, not a real surprise that they are leading the NL West, but the fact that they have a 14-game lead over the Houston Astros is the surprise. So are the Cincinnati Reds. They are 49-50 coming into this one, and 15 games behind the high-flying, front-running Los Angeles Dodgers. To make matters worse for the Reds, Orel Hershiser gets the call for the Dodgers in Game 1 of this doubleheader. Oh boy, Ron Robinson gets the call for the Reds. In, however, one of the strangest scheduling quirks that you'll ever see, this is only the fourth meeting of the year between these Dodgers and Reds. Remember, back in the 80s, they all met 18 times in the division in the National League. So Cincinnati, who trails by 15 the second night of August 1985, has 15 shots at the Dodgers. I'm not saying the Dodgers aren't going to win this, but in the immortal words of Jim Carrey and Dumb and Dumber, if you're a Reds fan, you're saying to yourself, so there is a chance. Yeah, the Reds actually do have a chance. 15 shots at the Dodgers in the next 62 games, because for both teams, this is game 100. Doubleheader day on Retro Sports Network. Dodgers and Reds play 2 next, as Retro Sports Network presents Major League Replay 85. Tonight, from Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio, it is the Los Angeles Dodgers and Cincinnati Reds. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, and wherever else fine podcasts are listed. How you doing, Kurt Berglund? Great to have you along for part of this. Kurt, of course, does videos mostly every night at 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central, and sometimes 11 in the morning, too. Book reviews and all that. A must-follow channel if you are a fan of baseball, and that's on YouTube. I'm not sure if he does a lot of live streaming, but Kurt is the man. Ron Robinson, who gets this big start for Pete Rose's Reds, making his 6th start of the year, 5-4 with 4 saves and an earned run average of .431. Including this one, he'll have 7 starts on his calendar the rest of the way. He's just 23 years old, a fastball pitcher at 89 and a fly ball pitcher. Chances are he hasn't faced the Dodgers yet, am I right? Making his 20th appearance overall. No, he did get lit up on July 1st in a 6-2 loss to L.A. Last appearance was a start against the Expos on the 28th of July, a 3-1 loss which he took. 6 innings, 90 pitches, 5 hits, 3 runs, all earned. No homers. He walked 1 while striking out 6. He's also done some closing for the Reds this year as well. Overall, 54 1/3 innings, 62 hits, 31 runs, 26 earned, 6 home runs allowed. He has walked 20 while striking out 44, and the record is 5-4 with 4 saves and an earned run average of .431. He'll give Rose around 100 pitches. Here's the lineup for the Dodgers. Mariano Duncan leads off at short. Enos Cabell over from the Astros at third will bat second. Kenny Landreau is at center. He'll hit third. Pedro Guerrero in left will clean up. Greg Brock at first will bat fifth. Mike Marshall in right will go sixth. Mike Scioscia gets the call in Game 1. He'll sit behind the plate and bat seventh. Wonder if he'll take a job in Anaheim in real life. Steve Sachs at second will bat eighth. And Oral Hershiser, not a bad hitting pitcher at all, will bat ninth. He should go 125 or so pitches. Defensively for the Reds, Max Venable an 8 and a 4 in left, John Milner a 7 and an 8 in center, Dave Parker having an MVP type year for Cincinnati, a 3 and a 5 in right. Buddy Bell at third, he's a 6. Tim Foley is a 5 at short, no Davey Concepcion in game 1. Ron Oster is a 7 at second, he also makes blenders. Pete Rose is a 3 at first, and Dan Billadello behind the plate an 8 and a 6. Ron Robinson is a 7 on the mound with a .929 fielding percentage. That is adequate. Beautiful night, 84 degrees in Cincinnati for this twilighter. Winds blowing in from right center, about right where the replay board is up there, between the Bud and the Winston ad, at 6. And if you're ready, we're ready. Duncan steps in at 248, 3 homers and 28 RBI. And Mariano hits a ground ball to third. Bell. Big Dave, 1174. How are you? 1 out. I would think for an older infielder, having the artificial surface would be better. You know you're going to get a true bounce. And this picture of this carpet, which I'm going to say is 87, 88, judging by what's up there on the board, the replay board, looks like the old NBC stat thing. And it's a day game, so I'm kind of wondering if it's that. Anyway, that carpet looks pretty fresh. Enos Cabell at 382 since coming over from Houston. No homers and 11 RBI. Robinson winds and deals. There's a fly ball in the right. Parker coming in. The Cobra makes the catch, 2 out. Brings up Landro. Kenny at 303. We are doing well, thanks. 10 homers and 51 RBI. Forgot to plug in the chairs, so I couldn't go out this morning. 68 here in town. Supposed to be a rainy day tomorrow. Did I read on the Landro stats? I'll do it again. 303, 10 homers, and 51 RBI. Robinson trying to get out of the first. Will not with a clean inning as Landro draws the walk. So a full count curve just missed outside. 2 out for Pedro Guerrero, who's having a monster year himself. 301, 20 homers, and 54 RBI. As we said, game number 100 for both teams. And these Reds now have 15 shots at the Dodgers. So if Cincinnati can, let's say, win 10, they gain 5 games. But when you're 64 and 35 like Los Angeles, someone's going to have to come get you. But we really are, as we play the games of August 2nd, 1985, right in 78 Yankees territory if anyone's going to catch the Dodgers or the Cardinals. Pitch to Guerrero is a line drive to Oster, and he'll make the catch to retire the side. The walk does not hurt. No runs, no hits, no errors. They leave a runner on. Half an inning in the books, no score. Sat there and ran through that like I'm doing a disclaimer for one of those prescription ads. Do not take if you plan on getting pregnant. Oral Hershiser really had Cy Young stuff in 85. He won it, of course, in 88. And you can make the argument that he probably should have been the MVP over Kirk Gibson in 88. In 85 so far, 15-5 with an earned run average of 280, including the night he's got 13 starts left. He is 27 years old, fastball pitcher at 88 and a ground ball plus pitcher. He does have 1 start against the Reds. He beat them, going the distance, 7 hits, 1 earned run, walked 2 and struck out 5. He had a 1-hitter against the Astros on June 21st. He walked 5 and struck out 6, but it's a 1-hitter nonetheless. When he faced the Cubs 5 days ago on the 27th, he threw a 3-hit shutout as the Dodgers pulled a mid-60s version and beat the Cubs 1-0. On that day, Hershiser threw 128 pitches, allowed 3 hits, walked 2, and struck out 10. Tommy Lasorda, who's probably sitting on an igloo right now with a 14-game lead, will let his pitchers throw the ball. Hershiser's high pitch count for the year came against the Astros on June 15th when he threw 143. Overall, the Bulldog 161 innings, 112 hits, 56 runs, 50 earned. He's allowed 8 homers, 44 walks, and 107 strikeouts. So here's a lineup he'll face. Eddie Milner leads off in center for the Reds. Max Venable in left will bat second. Pete Rose, the manager, puts Pete Rose in at third, playing first. Dave Parker cleans up in right. Buddy Bell will bat fifth and play third. Ron Oster at second will bat sixth. 4, 5, and 6 hitting .293, 10, and .320 respectively. Tim Foley at short, .224, batting seventh. Dan Belladero batting eighth behind the plate. And Robinson, through 22 pitches in his half of the first, will bat ninth. If there is a weakness for the Dodgers, it's in that outfield, defensively. Guerrero is a 4 and a 5 in left. Landro, a 4 and a 2 in center. That's almost a ramen noodle arm with that, too. Mike Marshall doesn't have a lot of range, but his arm is good. He's a 3 and an 8. Enos Cabell is a 7 at third. Mariano Duncan is a 5 at short. Steve Sachs, a 5 at second. Greg Rock, a 6 at first. Socha, a 7, and I believe an 8 behind the plate. The Dodgers had the best batting average in the National League, and they have the best ERA in the National League. I don't think it's Orel's rookie year. I think that was 84. Eddie Milner at .259, a homer and 21 RBI. Milner, that's in the right field for a hit. Socha's arm, by the way, is a 6. So will Milner stretch for 2? Yes, he will. Gonna run on Marshall to throw to Duncan, and Eddie is safe. His 12th of the year. 85 was his rookie card. So Milner, a threat to steal third, is on with a double. Venable at .257, no homers and 6 RBI. Milner's gonna go. The throw down from Socha to Cabell, and Eddie has it stolen. His 23rd steal of the year. And the Reds, if you missed the opening, Brad, they're 15 back, but for whatever reason, they've only played 3 times heading into this doubleheader. So they have 15 cracks at the Dodgers over the last 62 games. A 1-0 count to Venable. Hershiser delivers, and Max grounds out one to first. They'll concede the run. Flips to Hershiser for the out. Yeah, I actually had to double check because it didn't make any sense. You know, it was a couple in Rhode Island who did the schedules, I believe, for almost 25 years, starting in 77. And so it wasn't unusual as an American League fan to not see the Red Sox play the Orioles and the Yankees and their biggest rivals until around Memorial Day and later to get those West Coast trips out of the, or one of those West Coast trips out of the way. Because remember, in the American League, drink Narragansett, Brad, and drink coffee dinner milk. So they didn't get to the meat of the season until around May 15th, to around the All-Star break to get those games in. But remember, the American League played with a balanced schedule, 13 in your division from 77 to 93, and 12 against the West. And the National League, until from expansion in 77, which didn't affect the NL. So I guess you're going to say from when they went to divisional play in 69 until the Marlins and Rockies came in 93, it was 18 within your division and 12 against the other. Boy, we made that one convoluted, didn't we? Here's Rose, 264, no homers and 24 RBI. Hershiser delivers, and there's a line drive. He's one closer to Cobb now with a single. So I don't know what the count would be, but the crowd here is pretty happy. 1-0 Reds with 1 out in the first. Here's Dave Parker. How you doing, Steeler fan? Steeler fan still agog after what happened last night in RJL's channel. Parker at 290. 17 homers and 75 RBI. Line drive to Sachs. Steve has it. Rose knows better than to lead the bag. And there's 2 out. Really? Rose is going to try and steal? There's Buddy Bell. Buddy at 310. 3 homers. And 8 RBIs. Almost put 4 there. No, it's just 8. So Rose has a rather large lead off at first. And we're going to do it. The pitch... Sosha will just eat the ball. And Rose, who is Methuselah out there, has his 7th steal of the year. Rose is 44 years old. Who wants blue donuts? There you go. But he has 7 steals. And a 1-strike count to Buddy Bell. I'll take a blue donut. You can sit in the good seats for free, Mr. Howard. You read the post. Pitch to Buddy. Gets away from Sosha, and Rose goes on to third. So the Reds are making some noise here in the first, and I'm managing them. So be nice to me, Brad. So a 1-1 count. Hershiser, again, really... He wasn't robbed because Tudor and Gooden had career years, but Hershiser's right in that conversation for Cy Young. 2 outs. Rose on third. Bell strikes out to retire the side. That one got in there at the knees, but the Reds manufacture a run on 2 hits and no errors. They also steal 2 bases. How about that? After 1 in game 1, 1-0 Cincinnati. So Brock, Marshall, and Sosha. Greg at 260, 14 homers, and 43 RBI. There's a fly ball to right. Parker comes in. 1 out. Reds beat the Astros last night in game action. Or when I quick simmed it about 20 minutes ago. They are 49-50. The Dodgers are 64-35. Here's Marshall, 281. Mike has 18 homers and 49 RBI. And he hit him. You don't want to put the Dodgers on base. An 0-2 fastball on the arm. And now bring up Sosha, 285, no homers, and 27 RBI. Marshall goes, a throw down to Foley, and what's Tommy thinking? The throw into second is in time, 2 out. Oh, the rally monkey earned his banana at RJL's game last night. Oh, I'll say. Oh, my goodness. Did he ever? Mike Sosha, a 1-strike count. A game 5 for the ages in Anaheim. Pitch to Sosha. Into right, Parker coming in and will make the catch. So that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. After an inning and a half, 1-0 Reds. So it'll be Oster, Foley, and Biladello for the Reds. Ron at 320, no homers, and 32 RBI. I tuned in at the bottom of the 9th with runners on second and third. And I forget the batter. I think Carew was on second after the drop ball. And there you go. And this is a classic for sure, Mr. Tower. With runners on second and third. And this was a tough choice. I mean, Robert had a hard time last night figuring out what to do. Play him back and concede the run. Play him in and try for the runner at the plate. It was 8-6 at the time. Or what I would have done was set up a double play and walk him. I think it was Ford who was on deck anyway. For me, and you can tell me I'm wrong, I'd want to set up the double play. You're up 8-6. A home run beats you anyway, which is what happened. But walk me through that. I'm not saying that Robert was wrong. I mean, I certainly can understand that thinking. But I would have thought that he would have thought about loading the bases to set up the double play. Talk me through that, guys. Pitch to Oster. Popped up, left side. Duncan. 1 out. 1-0 Reds. Bottom of the second. Tom Foley, not the congressman. 224. No homers, 7 RBI. Already 15 at-bats over his thing there. Hershiser winds and deals. Ground ball to Hershiser over to Brock for the out. So 2 out. Here's Dan Villadero. Dan at 130. That's a dated reference. Which one is that? A homer and 6 RBI. Oh, classic NL West matchup? Yeah. It is. Oh, yeah, Foley. Tom Foley was your congressman. Okay. Pitch to Villadero. Yeah, whatever his name is. Into shallow right. Marshall coming in to make the catch. And that will retire the side. Clean inning for Hershiser. We go into the third. 1-0 Reds. So Sachs, Hershiser, and Duncan to face Robinson. If playing the sim counts, as Kurt Bricklin says, not playing baseball, going for the DP is the way to go because they're pretty common in inside pitch. Yeah, I just, again, I don't want to criticize him because he did what he thought was best, and I can certainly, the runner on third doesn't really matter. If he scores, it's not a tie game, it's just 8-7, but just goes to show there's plenty of schools of thinking. And that's not why the Angels won that game. That would have been one of those moments. I mean, he's had some of those in the playoffs. The whole, the Yankee comeback against the Brewers in the divisional series. Just wild stuff. I mean, that home run by Ford would have been shown forever. Did anyone hear the trash cans in the 9th inning last night? The strange thing about that part, pitch to Sachs. Steve hits a line drive in the right. That'll drop for a hit. 79 was the year that they were renovating it for the Rams. That's the year that the Big A scoreboard moved in the parking lot and all that. And the Big A was a big mess as they were doing what they did in San Francisco back in the early 70s. Hershiser at 220, no homers, and 5 RBI. Rose and Bell play for the bunt, obviously. Hershiser obliges. Bell picks it up, throws to Oster at first, and that will be a sacrifice. Stacks on second. And so the Angels, of course, had contended in 78. So they're redoing the stadium for the Rams, who had moved there in 80. Their last year in the Coliseum was 79. And who would have thought that they would have eventually gone back to the Coliseum? And so, yeah, that stadium was an absolute mess that year. Duncan is 0 for 1. Robinson 1 out here in the third. 36 pitches, his opening 9. A hit and a walk. Sachs leads off his second. Popped up. Foley, left side. 2 out. Brings up Cabell, who's 0 for 1. No, and that's the thing, is, again, I'm not picking on poor Robert here. You don't want, I understand not wanting to put the winning run on base. I can absolutely understand that logic. it's a, baseball is a risk-reward game, and as Brad says, I hadn't really thought about it, is the game isn't over until you get 27 outs. And they had 25. Someone want to hand poor Matt a cookie? Pitch to Cabell. Ground ball to third. Bell across the way. Cabell's running, and the throw to Rose is not in time, and Sachs tries to score from second and does. How about that? That was not a gimme base hit. Bell wasn't really paying attention. He's in a bit, and the throw, and Sachs just didn't stop. I'm not sure if Rose wasn't paying attention or what. By the time he did, Steve has good speed, and the Dodgers have tied the game with a runner scoring from second on an infield hit. That's a rare play. Wowzers. So 2 out, Landro with a walk at the plate. Kurt says, to me, the most important thing is to get the batter at the plate that you want. And again, I mean, it was, I forgot who the batter was. Ford was on deck. Yeah, that'll make Tommy's day. What hustle from Steve Sachs. Pitch to Landro. There's another chopper down to third. Bell has to vacuum it up. And Bell's just going to eat it. So runners on first and second and 2 out. Robinson throws to Oster, and Cabell is back. So 2 out for Guerrero, who's 0 for 1. Remember, doubleheader here on Retro Sports Network. Got a pretty good crowd for the first game. In the left, Venable. 1 out. Or that's the side. But the Dodgers score on an infield hit. They get 3. They leave on 2. After 2.5, 1-1. So Hershiser will face Robinson, Milner, and Venable here in the third. Ron, not a great hitter. It's always a quality crowd. 235 and 3 RBI. There's a line drive to second, 1 out. The good news, if you're an Astro fan in that series, you get possibly the last 2 at home. Yeah, Kurt, hopefully you are feeling better. By the way, we have heard from I.D. Jester. He's recovering, but very, very tired after that. Eddie Milner doubled to start the ball game for Cincinnati, and then stole third and scored. Hershiser opening 9 on 33 pitches, 2 1/3 innings, 2 hits and a strikeout. Ground ball to Sachs, over to Brock for the out. 2 out for Venable, who had had a fielder's choice, I think. That's exactly what it was. Drove in his 7th run of the year. And to right, Marshall. And Hershiser has settled in quite nicely. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the 4th in game 1, 1-1. So it'll be Brock, Marshall, and Scioscia to face Robinson, who's looking like a 6-inning pitcher on this warm and breezy night in the Queen City. And no, this game is not blacked out in Cincinnati. Brock 0 for 1. Into right center. Milner rides the Schwinn. 1 out. Here's Mike Marshall. Hit on the arm. His first time up. Robinson's pitch. There's a ground ball right side, a base hit. Parker throws it back in. And that's the 4th hit for the Dodgers. Here's Scioscia. Mike is 0 for 1. to get back to the scheduling thing, that couple from Rhode Island that we were talking about, they didn't use a computer. They did it all by hand. 2,430 games, and it was all hand done. There's a ground ball to short. Foley goes across the way to Rose. He better hurry. Scioscia is out on a bang-banger. 2 out. Here's Steve Sachs. He singled and scored. He scored on an infield hit from second. That was a tying run in the third. Robinson deals. Sachs line drive to Buddy Bell, and that will retire the side. No runs, a hit. The Dodgers leave a runner on. We go to the bottom of the fourth. 1-1. So here is the story up to the moment in the National League and American League. The Dodgers have won 8 of 10, 3 straight. Houston is channeling their inner Tom Petty at 51 and 51. The Reds, again, they have 15 shots now at the Dodgers. They can make it close. In the East, St. Louis, you knew they weren't going to play 700 ball forever. Montreal 10.5 back, but they've lost 2 straight. Is Houston still in the league? Yeah. The Mets aren't catching the Cardinals, 16.5 back. What is this sorcery here today? Remember, Game 2 is Pickle Rick game. In the West, in the American League, Kansas City seems to have control at the moment, but no one there is all that great. In the East, let's put it this way. There are 5 teams in the National League with a 500 record or better. There are 5 teams in the American League East with a 500 record or better. Here's Rose. He singled and stole his 7th base of the year. Hershiser starts the 4th. Ground ball up over the mound. Duncan has to come in. They're not playing around with Rose, and Petey is out. Yep. For the cookie cutter parks, this is why you sub, okay? For the cookie cutter parks, Shea, RFK, and Riverfront, I liked. Although I only saw 1 ball game from RFK growing up. When are we going to have the Pickle Gal on? Oh, that's an interesting question. I wonder how much Dave is going to risk his marriage and have to give to strainingthroughmybikini.com to get her on the show. Parker's 0 for 1. Pitch to Dave. Line drive, base hit. Over Sachs's glove. And the Cobra stings. He now has a single. Brings up Buddy Bell. Struck out. She's got 7,200 people watching her right now, including one Dave Gardner. I've got 6. 20,000 watching someone play Fortnite. Hey, we all have our priorities in order. I mean, I can't believe that the general public doesn't want to spend their lunch hour watching someone play from their bedroom a baseball game from 37 years ago. Just doesn't make any sense to me. Pitch to Bell. There's a fly ball left field. Guerrero going back to the track, and he'll make the catch. Parker goes back to first. We do our best. 2 out for Ron Oster. Let's take 10 seconds. This is the WKRP Cincinnati Reds Baseball Network. Don't forget to catch Venus Flytrap tonight after the doubleheader on WKRP in Cincinnati. Ron Oster's 0 for 1. Hey, you can pick on the Red Sox all you want, but we got Joe Madden fired. You haven't missed much. 1-1 here in the bottom of the fourth in game one. Oster's 0 for 1. Ground ball to short. Duncan sacks for 1. And that's it. Parker retired, and that's all they needed anyway. No runs, a hit. They don't leave anybody on. We go to the fifth on the first of two. It's the Dodgers 1, the Reds 1. So Robinson to face Hershiser, Duncan, and Cabell. Oral, sacrifice bonus first time up. Yeah, you know, even as someone who benefited from a World Series because of Dave Dombrowski, gosh, no bullpen in Philadelphia, no bullpen in Boston, no bullpen in Detroit. He got away with it with the Red Sox. He did not with the Tigers. And I don't think Girardi was the problem in Philadelphia. I think that big contract to Bryce Harper was much more of a problem. Hershiser, ground ball in the hole, fully across the way, 1 out. Yeah, don't drop it. Don't make me look like a bigger idiot. So it'll be Mariano Duncan who's 0 for 2. Charrington built that 18 roster. No, I'm talking 13. 13. They had Koji, but that was Dombrowski's thing. And Dombrowski likes to mortgage your future. Robinson is opening 18, 4 1/3, 71 pitches, 4 hits and a walk. Yep, bailed when the bill came due. I'll be paying for those mistakes for a while. Then again, ownership doesn't really want to re-sign Bogarts. Well, when Dombrowski was with the Expos, that's how he had to do it. His rep before the Tigers was built within Expos and the Marlins. But if the Tigers had any bullpen, they would have taken at least one. Anywho, Duncan draws the walk. So a 3-1 breaking ball low and away. I don't understand. I know that they're still paying for David Price, everybody. Jeez and crow. Cabell 1 for 2, an RBI and a single. Tribe fan, good afternoon. Glad to put you on instead of the people listening to an online meeting without headphones. And remember, between games, we go through all the actuary tables. Throw to first. And Duncan is back. Now they're going to pitch out. 1-1 to score here, top the fifth, 1 out. Duncan goes. Billadero throws down to Oster, and Mariano is toast. So 2 out. Well, you picked a good day. Did you know I was doing a Reds doubleheader of all things for you today? On the odd chance, I thought I could catch him maybe during the second game for a bit. Well, how about that? I didn't pull it. There are much better games on the schedule than this, but how rude. My youngest sister could do a great Stephanie Tanner impression. So Cabell with a 1-ball count, single and RBI. He reached on the infield single that Sack scored on in the third. Aw. Pitch to Enos into right field. Parker. And we're halfway through game 1. How about that? No runs, no hits, no errors. Halfway through the first on a beautiful Wednesday afternoon. Dodgers 1, Reds 1. With the odd start time, I bet a bunch of you joined us late. So here's how we got here: Reds in the bottom of the first. Max Venable hit a ground ball for a fielder's choice to make it 1-0 Cincinnati. Then in the third, with Steve Sachs on second. Enos Cabell reached on an infield hit, and Sachs took advantage of a sleeping Buddy Bell and Pete Rose and scored to make it 1-1. Good pitching matchup here. Or Hershiser, a 3-hitter through 4, and Ron Robinson, a 4-hitter through 5. They both have pitched very well. Thank you very much. So Tom Foley, Dan Billadillo, and Ron Robinson in the 5th. Tom is 0 for 1. Mike from the truck. I'm a deposed prince of Nigeria asking for our bank accounts to help regain the throne. Speaking of which, you know you can attach your Prime account to this channel and not have to pay a dime. I get $2.50. Amazon gets $2.50, and you get to be a sub. Dear sir or madam, you don't need to give me your ID, and I don't have $125 million in a secret bank account in Moldova. My late husband told me all about you, whoever you are, and told me I could trust you no matter who or where you are. Anywho, Tom is 0 for 1. Hershiser starts the 5th with a base hit into right center field. Landreau throws it in, and Foley has his 5th double of the year. Wait, what? So it's like, see, this is where you'd bunt, but he can't. Dan is 0 for 1. Just send me your Western Union information or attach your Prime to Retro Sports Network live on Twitch. You must catfish a lot of Bruins fans with that line. No, I don't. They're too busy with the Pickle Ricks watching Big Dairy perform. Struck him out. That's 2 for Hershiser. A 1-2 curve, 1 out. By the way, Tin Flash will get another mention. He's our latest follower. Brings up Robinson, who's 0 for 1. Brock and Cabell play for the bunt. Robinson will oblige. It's down. Sosha goes to third, and they get Foley. So Cabell was backing up all the way, and it is a sack and a fielder's choice. 2-5. 2 out for Milner. Eddie 1 for 2. Doubled, stole third, and scored the lone run for the Reds. Hershiser, 64 pitches, 18 batters, 4 2/3, 4 hits, and 2 strikeouts. Pitch to Milner. That's a base hit right side. Marshall will pick it up. And Robinson will go to third. 90% chance here. Milner trying for second. The throw goes to third. And Robinson is in rather safely. The throw to second. And Milner's there. So a single for Milner. That's the 5th hit for the Reds. Second and third. 2 out for Venable. Hit a sac fly in the 1st to score Milner. Hershiser from the stretch. Ground ball to Sachs. It's going to play him. And the Reds go on top 2-1. Steve Sachs couldn't get a handle on it. He muffed it. And it's 2-1 Cincinnati. And that'll bring up Rose, who was 1 for 2. Yep, you see that right on the bottom left. Pete Rose stole second base. He has 7 steals. At the young age of, what did we say, 45 or 42? 44. Pitch to Rose, runners on the corners, ground ball to Brock, and that'll do it. Brock to the bag, 44, yep. So the Reds will strand 2, but they get the lead. 1 run, 2 hits, the air hurts. We go to the 6th. in Game 1, 2-1 Cincinnati. So Robinson might go into the 7th. It gives you the fatigue warning. Landreau, Guerrero, and Brock. Kenny, single to walk. He's 1 for 1. Robinson, 1 out. So I got an email from a fan this morning, and it had nothing to do with my managerial style whatsoever, about Craig Kimbrell. Guerrero 0 for 2. And Kimbrell, you know, you've seen him pitch. It's kind of like watching a vulture. The way his arm hangs and all that. And it can be, you know, the point of having a pitching stance is to be distracting. Pitch to Guerrero. There's a line drive over Oster, and that will be a single for Petey. Apparently, Kimbrell suffered an injury, and I guess that's the most comfortable way for him to pitch. When I worked for Bleacher Report, about 10 years ago now, here's Brock, he's 0 for 2. They trusted me to do good work. I know, silly people, but they did. And I got the chance before the World Baseball Classic in 2013 to interview Craig Kimbrell. It's amazing just how Kismet works, because I think Brad just sent it because he figured it was a good thing to talk about. And so they hooked me up on a conference call, throw to first, and Guerrero is back. Yeah, how cool was that? They hooked me up on a conference call from MLB's corporate headquarters on Park Avenue. I did not ask to talk to Rob Manfred. I had to have all my questions sent to them, like I was going to ask anything. So, Craig, which cheek do you get the B12 shots in? I wasn't going to ask things like that. 1 out, pitch to Brock, and he walked. And so now I got to pay attention to Robinson because he's pretty much on E in 96 pitches. Here's Marshall. He singled his first time up. And so, although it was very boilerplate, what does it mean to pitch for your country? Tell me about the World Baseball Classic. You know, how do you like Atlanta? Which strip club is... No, I didn't get into that. Is there such a thing as a Pickle Rick in Atlanta? At the steakhouse? No, didn't do that. I mean, all the questions were kind of basic because, you know, talking to a blog was that, hey, thank you, Tape Saturator. Hope all is well with you. But Kimbrell came across as a very nice guy. And at that point, I was actually covering the Tigers and doing general baseball. And so it was fun. So Harold Reynolds type question. Yeah. Yeah. How's your hoovering skills? But he came across very well and was a very rootable guy. And, of course, he would go on to close for the Red Sox for a while and did very well. But there really is a shelf life for a closer. Unless your name is Trevor Hoffman or Mariano Rivera. Pitched him, Belladero and Robinson go out and chat. Marshall, line drive to left center. Milner's over, makes the catch. Guerrero will... Oh, no, it's not out yet. Milner's going to dive for it. And Eddie makes the catch. A diving catch on the turf, 2 out. And so Robinson pretty much down to brass tacks. Sosha 0 for 2. So anyway, I got to talk with Craig Kimbrell. It's about 10-15 minutes. Article didn't do all that well. I think still is the only one of the few current ball players I've ever talked to. I've talked with a bunch. Pitch to Sosha. Ball 4, and that's going to do it for Robinson. So they're loaded. 2 out. Too early for Franco here in the 6th. Tom Hume coming in. Got a pitching change. This game coming to you from Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati. Kimbrel is 8 saves away from passing Eck. You know the amazing thing about Eckersley, let's tell you about Hume, 41st appearance of the year. 2-0, earned run average of 370, 32 years old, fastball at 88, and a ground ball plus pitcher. And he has now faced the Dodgers all 4 times the Reds have played him. Played them 2 1/3, and that's it. He last pitched on the 31st against the Astros when they beat him. The Astros did 4-3. 2 innings, 28 pitches, a walk and a strikeout. So overall, 41 1/3 innings, 33 hits, 21 runs, 17 earned, 3 homers. He's walked 29 and struck out 26. They're loaded with 2 out, so their bases are full of Dodgers. For Sachs, who's 1 for 2. Line drive to Foley, and Hume slams the door as the speaker makes a leaping catch to retire the side. The Dodgers leave him loaded. No runs, a hit, no errors. The Dodgers have left on 7, 5.5 down, 2-1 Reds. Yep, Eckersley was a Cub at 85. Actually pitched rather well in this replay, and led the NL in strikeout to walks ratio as a starter. Eckersley came up in 76 and pitched the first 11 years of his career as a starter. Remember, even when he was in Oakland, he started as a starter. And although I really don't hold Tony La Russa in all that high of a regard, he understood that Eckersley had a role to play, threw him in the back of the pen, and he really was the first one-inning closer. Dave Smith in Houston kind of fits that bill too, but Eckersley turned it into the super art form that you know today, and it bought Eck another decade. Brad's going to want a finder's fee for me to tell all these stories. Parker is 1 for 2 with a single as we start the bottom of the 6th, and Hershiser struck him out. Full count fastball on the outside corner, 1 out. So it brings up Buddy Bell, 0 for 2 with a strikeout. So back to length of service and closers. Kimbrel has been through it, and seems to be a dandy person to boot. Into left, Guerrero over in the corner, 2 out. This one has been a nail-biter. 2-1, bottom of the 6th, Reds lead. Ron Oster is 0 for 2. Line drive, right field, Marshall. And we go to the 7th, 2-1. So Hershiser, who should stay in the game. Tom Hume trying to get 3 outs here. Due up third in the bottom of the 7th. Orel's 0 for 1. Orel is 0 for 2 as he flies out to Venable and left. 1 out. Mariano Duncan's 0 for 2 with a walk. Struck him out. He got him on a 2-2 changeup, a late called strike 3. So it brings up Enos Cabell. Enos 1 for 3. His infield hit in the 3rd scored Steve Sachs from 2nd. There's a base hit into center field, a 2-out single. Brings up Landreau. Kenny is 1 for 2, a single and a walk. Dodger fans are being awful quiet. Hume throws to first. Enos, you dipstick. Yep. They pitch out. Cabell not going anywhere. So 1-0 the count. Pitch to Landreau. Kenny hits a ground ball to first. Rose underhands it to Hume covering, and that will retire the side. So the Reds pitchers have done a decent job. No runs, a hit, no errors. Stretch time, game 1, 2-1 Reds. So it'll be Foley, Billadaro, and Hume, or pitcher's spot, although Hume certainly could continue to pitch. Foley 1 for 2. Tom's got a double. His 5th of the year. Struck him out. That's 4. The Bulldog painted the inside corner on a curve. 1 out. Brings up Mr. Billadello. We're getting into Harry Carey after the 4th beer talk again. Dan has struck out. He's 0 for 2. 4 for Oral. Make it 5. A good morning and a good afternoon. A full count fastball on the outside corner. 2 out. And we'll just make things real easy here and seeing who can hit a righty. And the answer is going to be Tony Perez. Eduardo's dad is a pinch hitter at .313, 2 homers and 5 RBI. Overall, .346, 2 homers and 10 RBI. 2 out, bottom of the 7th. Hershiser winds and deals and draws the walk. So there is no good night to that inning, as he missed with a 3-0 fastball inside. And that brings up Eddie Milner. Eddie is 2 for 3, a single, a double, a stolen base, and a run scored. Hershiser, 102 pitches, 3 times through the lineup. 6 2/3 innings, 5 hits, a walk, and 5 strikeouts. Tony is 43, so Doggy isn't even the old man on this team. Pitch to Milner. Ground ball to Sachs. Steve throws it to Brock, and that will retire the side. Reds leave a runner on. We go to the 8th, 2-1. Cincinnati, and now Ted Power will get to close this thing out. Power making his 40th appearance, 6-3 on the year, 13 saves, an earned run average of .325. He's 30 years old. Fastball pitcher and a ground ball pitcher at 90. Last pitched against the Astros on the 30th and beat them. He went 1 clean inning and a 5-4 win and got the side, or retired the side on 8 pitches. 44 1/3 innings, 34 hits, 17 runs, 16 earned. 1 homer came much earlier in the season. He's walked 33 and struck out 26. And as Brad says, too old to play, too young to manage. So Guerrero 1 for 3 with a single as we start the 8th. Base hit down the line and left. Venable cuts it off. Guerrero digging for 2. He is safe. That's the 12th, and that's a tying run. Brings up Greg Brock, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. Tony never managed, did he? Pitch to Brock. Ground ball to Foley. Tom throws to Rose for the out. Guerrero will hold. 1 out. I'm being told, yes, sir. Here's Mike Marshall. Mike, spit it out, Ron. 1 for 2. Oh, the first 44 games in '93 before Marge changed her mind. His son, who I've also interviewed, brilliant baseball mind. Oh yeah, Tony was an interim manager for the Marlins as well. I think should be a manager. I don't remember how old Eduardo was. Pitch to Mike. Marshall swings. That's through the middle. Oster can't get there. Guerrero will round third and hold. So the Dodgers don't get aggressive here with 1 out. Guerrero the tying run. Marshall the go-ahead run. Yeah, Eduardo would make a very good manager. I don't understand why, because ESPN isn't paying him that much. Scioscia 0 for 2 with a walk. So tying run on third, go-ahead run on first. 8th inning, 1 out. Power winds and deals. There's a ground ball, might be 2. Oster to Foley for 1. Tom goes to first, and that's 2. So they turn it 4-6-3, and the run does not score. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Reds 2, Dodgers 1. Yes, Eduardo was the runner-up for the Mets when Beltran was hired. Carlos Beltran, the only manager in Mets history with no record. Here's Max Venable. Max is 0 for 3 with an RBI. Rose and Parker to follow. Hershiser starts the 8th. Ground ball to Duncan. Mariano across the way. 1 out. I thought Eduardo should have at least gotten a look when the Nats got rid of Dusty Baker versus many Mets managers with no record to speak of. Here's Rose. Pete 1 for 3. A single and a stolen base. Hershiser from the wind. There's a line drive to right that's going to go out of play. And somebody from Covington made that catch. 2-2 the count to Rose. Hershiser's pitch. There's a base hit, so 1 closer to Cobb on that one. And the crowd goes into a frenzy as Rose will round first and hold. Dave Parker now. He's 1 for 3. He has singled and struck out. Of course, today being the 8th of June, 2022, both the Yankees and the Mets are in first place in their respective divisions. Much to the chagrin of everyone who just loves Aaron Boone to pieces. Scioscia and Hershiser get together. From the stretch now, Parker. Ground ball up the middle, and that got past everybody. So Rose will hold at second. It's first and second, 1 out for Buddy Bell. Buddy 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Snap throw to first, and Parker is back. So 1 ball count to Bell, and they try to get Parker napping. But everyone had their coffee this morning, or this evening, and so everyone's wide awake. Pitch to Bell. Up the middle, and that's a base hit. So Rose will round third. Landro's arm isn't great at all. Pete sending himself with 1 out. The throw to the plate is not in time. Rose will score. It's 3-1 Cincinnati, and that'll do it for Orel Hershiser. Carlos Diaz coming in to pitch for the Dodgers with runners on first and second. Diaz 5-1 with a 1.64 ERA. In his 30th appearance, he's 27 years old, a fastball pitcher at 91, and a ground ball pitcher. He last pitched against the Cubs on July 28th in a 6-2 loss to Chicago. Went 2 innings, 22 pitches, and a strikeout. Overall, 38 1/3, 21 hits, 7 runs, all earned, a home run. That came against the Padres on June 17th. He walked 13 and struck out 30 so far. And the Reds, who come into this 15 back with 15 to play against the Dodgers, they're up 3-1, 1 out in the bottom of the 8th. Parker on third, Bell on first, or second rather, Bell on first. Oster's 0 for 3. Ron, there's a fly ball to left. Guerrero will make the catch. Parker retreats. And will not tag with 2 out. You don't need to. Brings up Tom Foley, who's 1 for 3. Did I know Osama bin Laden was a Dodger fan? No, I did not. I'm not going to read that one out loud. But, you shouldn't use Jay Leno as your joke writer. You know that? but that was. Pete Rose got his record-breaking hit on 9/11/85. I asked out the hottest girl in my class that day, and she said no. But it was September 11th, 1985. Tom Foley is 1 for 3. He has singled and struck out. And we're going to bat him anyway. That worked into right center field. Parker will round third, I'm sure. Marshall picks it up. Parker will run on Marshall's arm. Bill will hold. The throw is going to be close. Safe. So the Reds get another big run. It's 4-1. They're going to pinch hit Billadello with lefty. Who can hit a lefty? Read the right column. When Nick Osaski is hitting .250 as a pinch hitter, .269, 12 homers, and 29 RBI. The Reds didn't need Foley shortly thereafter with Larkin in the wings. Barry played up here in Burlington, as a matter of fact. Traded him to Montreal, where he was a good second baseman for several years. Yep. Montreal always had above-average talent. But there was always one or two teams better. But not for a lack of trying. So Osaski trying to give him a bigger lead. Nope, he struck out. That worked out well. Swung on and missed, and that will retire the side. However, the Reds get 2 big runs on 4 hits and no errors. We go to the 9th. Remember, 1-2, 4-1 Reds. Let me get Van Gorder in, okay? Dave Van Gorder. A 6 and a 3 behind the plate. Power to face Sachs, a pinch hitter, and Duncan. Pickle Girl reminds me that at the last doubleheader you went to in the Kingdom, they had a cow milking contest between games. A cow milking contest in Seattle. Is that where Starbucks got their creamer from? I bet you can get a government grant to see just how stretchy Lycra can get. Sachs is 1 for 3. A single and a run score. Sounds like something Charlie O would have done. That's probably true. 4-9-0 for the Reds. They've left on 7. Power clings to a 3-run lead here in the 9th. 1-8-1 for the Dodgers. And Len Matuzik will pinch hit. Not the right move, Tommy. Len, since coming over from the Blue Jays, 125 as a pinch hitter. A homer and 2 RBI. Overall, 333, 3 homers and 9 RBI. Power starts the 9th with a fly ball to right center. Milner, 1 out. Remember, we're playing 2 here, so hang on for game 2 momentarily. Carlos Diaz will be pinch hit for by Terry Whitfield. Terry, as a pinch hitter, has great numbers. He's hitting .280, 3 homers and 7 RBI. Overall, .258, 3 homers and 11 RBI. 1 out. Power looking for save number 14. Ground ball to third. Bell across the way. 2 out. So Mariano Duncan is the last chance saloon here in game 1. Mariano has walked, struck out, and is 0 for 3. Power, as Red fans come together as one to sing We Are the World, is going to have to wait a minute as Tommy empties his bets one more time. This time for R.J. Reynolds. RJ not there for picture day at 244, no homers and 12 RBI. As a pinch hitter, even I can do that math. He's 1 for 7 for a 143 batting average. That's into right, and Parker will chase that down, and the Reds take game 1. Yeah, it's not Joe Price or bust. No, sir. Thanks for the sub, Brad. So game 1 in the books. Reds go to 50-50. 4-9-0 for the Reds. They leave on 7. Dodgers in game 1, 1-8-1. And they leave on 9. That's all right. Not everyone's here all the time, so it's not a big deal. And then I got sick. And so when you miss pretty much the better part of 2 weeks, people forget. And that's okay. Hershiser goes to 15-6 with the loss. 7 1/3, 8 innings, or 8 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned, a walk, and 5 strikeouts. Robinson goes to 6-4, 5 2/3, 5 hits, a run. It was earned. He walked 4. Hume gets the hold, and Powell had the power. A 2-inning save, allowed 2 hits. And Pete Rose, because you're 44 years old and had your 7th steal, you get the Digital Dice MVP for game number 1. Game number 2 coming up right after this. And so here we are. Gosh, that was a short break. So it'll be Jay Tibbs versus Rick Honeycutt in game 2. So a whole bunch of changes here for the Reds. And yet, Rose stole 8 and 9 tries. Dodger lineup, only 2 changes. Steve Yeager will catch, and of course, Rick Honeycutt on the hill. Duncan, Cabell, Landreau, Guerrero, Brock, Marshall, Yeager, Saxon, Honeycutt. Changes defensively for the Reds as Sasky starts in left. He's a 3 and a 4. Gary Reedus is in the center. He's a 4 and a 2. And Tony Perez is at first. He's a 3. And Dave Van Gorder is a 6 and a 3 behind the plate. And Dave Concepcion is a 6 at short. So with all that out of the way, the interns munch the stats in that 30-second break between games, and we can tell you that Duncan steps in to start game 2 at 246, 3 homers and 28 RBIs. I take a drink. So thanks for hanging with us for the first hour and 14. This is game 101. The Dodgers 64 and 36, and the Reds are 50 and 50, and at the moment 14 games out of first place. Tibbs, making his 20th start of the year, is 7 and 9 with a 4.15 ERA. Jay is 23 years old. You don't need to call him Mr. Tibbs. You can call him Jay. Fastball pitcher at 87 and a ground ball pitcher. His second start against the Dodgers, he lost his only time against L.A. 5 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs all earned. He walked 2 and struck out 1. And that game was July 1st, which was his last start. So a pretty steady competitor, and has been gone for a month, and he'll get a little bit more of a break because we have a 2-day strike coming up. 125 and 2/3 innings, 131 hits, 67 runs, 58 earned. The Dodgers pounded him for 3 home runs in that start. So he's allowed 12 now. He has walked 44 and struck out 64. And so with all that, the weather, 72 degrees. Wind's blowing in now from right center 12. Game 2 starts with a ground ball to Concepcion. Davey throws to first. 1 out. That pickle Rick girl must be doing something interesting because I haven't heard from Gardner in about an hour. Here's Cabell. Enos now at 390. No homers and 12 RBI. He drove in the only Dodger run in the first of Game 1. Cabell hits a fly ball to right. Parker in the corner. Dave reaches over, makes the catch. 2 out. We'll have a game for you tomorrow, and because now we're actually having some good games on the weekend in other series. You remember when ABC used to do the be careful what you wish for? I'll go on camera for this. Landreau, by the way, 304, 10 homers and 51 RBIs. Do you remember when the banner on my left used to do Sunday afternoon games? They would do them around pennant time. We're going to have 3 or 4 of those because the American League races are pretty tight, especially in the East, where there's 5 teams over 500. So starting this week, we'll have extra baseball for you, a 4th scheduled tape date. How about that? I forgot what I chose, but yeah, there's some good ones out there. And we want to make sure that we get some National League games in as well, because these races, well, you know. All right, let's get back to it. Be careful what I wish for. Nobody on, 2 out. Pitch to Landreau. Base hit left center field. That might be extra bases. It will be because Landreau had some Red Bull and he's got some wings. And a 2-out double, his 17th of the year, is the first runner of the ballgame. Pedro Guerrero at 303, 20 homers and 54 RBI. Tibbs deals. Ground ball to third. Bell across the way to Perez. And that will retire the side. Dodgers get a base hit. Leave them on after half an inning in Game 2. No score. So Rick Honeycutt making his 18th start of the year. He has won 6 decisions in a row. 7-3 overall. And a 2.62 ERA. 31 years old. A fastball pitcher, 85. Excuse me. And a fly ball pitcher. He did face the Reds. He beat the Reds, a 6-hitter, in his lone appearance against them on June 10th, which, by the way, was 4 years to the day before I graduated from high school. Last time out, beat the Pirates on July 22nd, 8 innings and a 5-2 win, 101 pitches, 2 hits, wow, an unearned run. He walked 2 and struck out 5. Yeah, another good conversion from La Russa from a starter to a reliever. 96 and a third for Rick. The lefty has allowed 80 hits, 32 runs, 28 earned, 4 homers. He has walked 30 and struck out 52. And his ERA is at 2.62. Reds lineup. Gary Reedus leads off in center. Dave Concepcion will bat second at short. Dave Parker moves up to third. He'll play right. Buddy Bell cleans up at third. Tony Perez will bat fifth at first. Asaski in left will go sixth. Ron Oster, the blender, at second, will bat seventh. Dave Van Gorder behind the plate bats eighth, and Mr. Tibbs, 11 pitches, will bat ninth. The only defensive change is the battery for the Dodgers. Remember to replace that 9-volt twice a year so your smoke detector works well. Honeycutt is 7 on the mound with a .958 fielding percentage. And the old man, Steve Yeager, is 6 and 8 behind the plate. Reedus at .255, 6 homers and 21 RBI. And there's a base hit in the right center field. Marshall will cut it off, and the Reds are in business to start the ball game. And Reedus has a good chance to steal, but I think the computer knows that. Here's Concepcion, 246, 5 homers, and 34 RBI. They don't throw. Concepcion strikes out. An 0-2 fastball at the belt, 1 out. And if Reedus is a candidate to go. Here's Parker, 292, 17 homers, and 75 RBI. Runner goes. Yeager throws down to Duncan, and Reedus is safe. That's 24. So the Reds manufacturing some runs, or trying to. It got him that first run in the first. Pitch to Parker. Got him. Honeycutt got him on an 0-2 fastball. Paints the black on the outside corner. 2 out for Bell. Buddy at 304. 3 homers and 9 RBI. Honeycutt deals. There's a fly ball to center. Landro continues to retreat, but makes the catch to retire the side. No runs, a hit, no errors. 1 down in game 2. No score. So Brock, Marshall, and Yeager to face Tibbs. Brock at 2, read the right column, Ron. 257, 14 homers, 43 RBI. Pitch to Brock. Ball 4. Leadoff walk. Here's Marshall. 285 for Mike. 18 homers and 49 RBI. Reds took the opener 4-1. Struck him out. He got him on a 1-2 looking. A Cabot sharp curveball. So 1 out for Yeager. Steve is 37. In 85, hitting 247. No homers and 5 RBI. I'd like to ask the former Nats beat writer how much longer before Mike Rizzo files for unemployment. I don't think they'll do anything until the team is sold. I think the learners want out of that. If it's Leonosis that buys the team, I think the first order of business is to get Major League Baseball to finally settle that dispute between the Nats, the O's, and Masson, and to get Juan Soto signed long term. It's one thing to have lost Scherzer, but to lose and Harper, because I don't think Harper ever wanted to stay, but the organization really couldn't have afforded to lose both Rendon, and you can't blame Anthony for taking the money with the Angels, and then Trey Turner. I don't think the Nats are all that far out from contending. Now, Brandon Strasburg needs to be healthy. It's not that Washington doesn't want to field a winner. They had some luxury tax issues, and they're not like the Dodgers who can, we'll pay it. But the problem with the Nats is that deal with Masson. They are not getting fair market value, and if they did, I think they'd be able to spend the $30-40 million more a year. To pay it. But, Soto is seeing dollar signs, and why not? Pitch to Yeager. There goes Brock. There's a fly ball to right. Parker in the corner, and that is out of play. What is my take on Joe Girardi getting fired? Somebody had to take the pitfall for the fact that Dombrowski can't fill the roster. And maybe Girardi lost the clubhouse. I was more surprised the Angels let go of Madden than I was that the Phillies let go of Girardi. Throw to first. Brock is back. Yeager draws the walk. And a cautionary tale for Soto. 3-1 curve was high and away. Sacks 281, a homer and 23 RBI. Is that you look for some of these players who thought they've gone on to greener pastures, such as Rendon with the Angels and Harper with the Phillies. And let's face it, neither one of those clubs are a World Series contending team. Yep, Andy McPhail is responsible for the Phils mess, and Artie Moreno is responsible for the Angels. Absolutely. Not going to argue that one at all. So first and second, one out. Tibbs struggling here. Base hit up the middle. Pass Oster. Brock will round third. Reedus does not have a good arm, but Brock will not chance it, and they're loaded for the pitcher with one out. So Honeycutt at 120, 3 for 25 with a double. Yeah, you know, I love Joe Maddon. Even when he was with Tampa, he drove people nuts. And so they asked Joe, as Brad says, about getting fired. Someone asked him, will you manage again? He said, why not? I'm a great manager. Joe Maddon got so much out of those Tampa teams. I think when they won the World Series, when the Cubs won the World Series in 16, he overmanaged, and they won despite that in the World Series. But why wouldn't you give Maddon a chance? Pitch to Honeycutt. Got him. So a full count changeup swung on and missed, 2 out. Here's Duncan. Tibbs, his opening 9, an inning and 2/3. No runs, 2 hits, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Bases loaded for Duncan. 0 for 1. Brock on third. Yeager on second. Sachs on first. A couple years ago with the Cubs, Joe read, millennials for dummies in the dugout. Maddon gets a lot from his players. He reminds me a lot of Joe Torre. I mean, people poo-pooed Torre's record till he got with the Yankees. He won the West with the Braves in '82. And on paper, going into that year, that was not a playoff team. That was a good young team. There's more to managing than just sending Mariano Rivera out there with a lead. Pitch to Duncan. Mariano flies this one to left as Sasky will make this catch, and the Dodgers will leave him loaded. So after an inning and a half here in Game 2, no score. So it'll be Perez, Sasky, and Oster. Dodgers have 2 hits, and they've left on 4 through 2. Tony, 346, 2 homers, and 10 RBI. Honeycutt starts the second. A high fly ball to center. Landreau running back. 1 out. Sasky pinch hit in Game 1. 267, 12 homers, and 13 RBI. And Girardi found that out. Yeah. Oh, that's true. Pitch to Nick. Walked him. So Honeycutt lost him. First walk for Rick. Here's Oster. Ron at 316. No homers and 32 RBI. So what's your guys' take? Are the Yankees going to re-sign Judge? Pitch to Ron. Oster lines this one to right. Marshall will pick it up. Sasky will round second and hold. So first and second, 1 out for Dave Van Gorder. And it's a perfect name for a bench player. 217, 5 homers, and 18 RBI. So first and second, 1 out. Reds took the first one, 4-1. No score, bottom of the second here in Game 2. Pitch to Van Gorder. Dave sends this one into shallow center. Landreau rides the Schwinn for the out. Sasky will bluff. No reason to risk the out, especially with the pitcher up. Tibbs at 133 and 2 RBI. Regarding Judge, if they do, Brad says they pay way more than Judge was asking for last spring. That's why you think no. As much as I have a begrudging respect but not mutual admiration for the Yankees, I would be sad to see Judge leave. And so, where do you think he'd go? Pitch to Tibbs. Jay swings a ground ball, base hit right side. Saski will round third and run on Marshall's arm as Tibbs has a single. The throw goes in the infield, and the Reds with a 2-out single go up 1-0. So Honeycutt is opening 9 on 33 pitches, inning and 2/3, 3 hits, a walk and 2 strikeouts. Reedus singled and stole second to start the ball game. So Oster on second, Tibbs on first, 1-0 Reds here in the second. Reedus draws the walk, and old Tommy can't be real happy now. You don't let the barn door open. Here's Concepcion. He struck out in the first. He does have a grand slam this year. He struck out in the first inning, 1-2 for Honeycutt. So it's Oster on third, Tibbs on second, and Reedus on first. Pitch to Concepcion. Up the middle. Duncan over to first, and the Reds will leave him loaded. 6-3 on the ground out, and that will retire the side. Reds break through for a run on 2 hits, no errors after 2. Dodger fans, be quiet. 1-0 Reds. So Cabell, Landreau, and Guerrero to face Tibbs here in the third. Brad thought they should have just eaten the extra few this spring to get the deal done. Yeah, I do too. If that was a hard no then, they aren't going to pay even more this winter unless there's no market for him, and there's absolutely no truth to that. There's going to be a huge market for Aaron Judge. What if the Mets sign him? I'd love that. Whoever's crazy enough, midlife crisis says, to give him a long-term billion-dollar deal after only 2 healthy seasons, possibly 3 this year. There'd be a bunch of kismet if the Mets signed Judge. Cabell is 0 for 1. Enos walks. And he hears the dipstick talk from the sold-out crowd here at Riverfront. Here's Landreau. Kenny doubled his first time up. Yeah, healthy or not, he's been one of the 3 best hitters in baseball since debuting. And with the DH, absolutely, you don't need to risk him in right field. Pitch to Landreau. There was a little chopper. An excuse me swing. Perez fields it. Underhands it to Tibbs by the foul line for the out, and Cabell moves to second. Regardless of what happens to Judge, you can bank on the fact that Yankee fans aren't going to be happy either way, that they let him walk or that they overpaid him. Here's Guerrero. He's 0 for 1. In the left, Saski has the out. Cabell retreats back to second, tags, and the throw goes in the infield. So 2 out for Greg Brock, who walked his first time up. Yep, the Mets signed Scherzer huge money at 37, and an injury-riddled year with the Dodgers, and he's been out again. There's something so Mets about that, don't you think? Pitch to Brock. Cabell leads off at third, and Tibbs struck him out. So, no runs, no hits. They leave a runner on. We go to the bottom of the third, game 2. 1-0 Reds. So Parker, Bell, and Perez. Parker struck out, one of the 2 for Honeycutt. His first time up. Got him again. A 2-2 fastball fouled right in the glove of Steve Yeager. So that brings up Buddy Bell. Buddy is 0 for 1. This will get my Twitch hours up, by the way. Into right. Marshall has it for the out. Tony Perez is 0 for 1. 2 out here in the third. Now Alonso is hurt. Can they hold on? I mean, yeah, but that's the thing. The other thing is, with now the wild card being what it is, that you have a decent year, you have a chance. And I think for teams that have been not willing to spend money in the past, that get that one player, I mean, wherever Judge goes, he's going to fill some seats. Pitch to Perez. Tony 0 for 1, lines that one in the left for a single, and Guerrero will pick it up. I suspect Brad says it isn't the money per se for the Yankees, so much as the institutional memory of so many poorly considered big deals in the past. I wish the Red Sox would learn to spend smart money, but you're right. They've already got Stanton, and again, Stanton hasn't been all that healthy throughout his entire career. Asaski walked and scored in the second, 1-0 Reds. 2 out, bottom of the third. Asaski grounds out one softly to third. Cabell doesn't get a play on it. He went to throw it and realized he didn't have the ball. Hit off his glove. 2 out for Ron Oster. The Toaster has a single. So first and second, 2 out. Honeycutt already at 60 pitches here in the third inning. Oster hits a ground ball to Cabell. The error is not going to hurt. Goes to Sachs for the easy play, and that will retire the side. No runs, a hit, no error. Or 1 hit and 1 error. Does not hurt. Go to the fourth. 1-0 Reds. Remember when the Yanks had 3 overpaid ex-stars at the same time, all of which should have been DHing? Pepperidge Farm remembers. I also remember when Jose Offerman was the first baseman for the Red Sox. He replaced Mo Vaughn. I'm not bitter or anything still. Mike Marshall struck out his first time up. Tibb starts the fourth with a fly ball to left. Back goes Asaski in the corner and runs out of real estate. No, he made the catch. He reached in and made the catch. Just like Moses, Asaski parted the red seats to make the catch. 1 out for Yeager, who walked his first time up. And Mike Scioscia's not going to pinch hit in the 4th inning. Tommy, you filled out that lineup. You're going with it at least one more time. Yeager sticks his tongue out at Lasorda as he singles into right field. And that'll bring up Sachs, who's 1 for 1. Lasorda said, I didn't want you to hit. Yeager points to the scoreboard where there's a big red H now. Pitch to Sachs. Popped up. Oster. Behind the bag. Makes the catch. 2 out. For Honeycutt. Now you might pinch hit. He struck out his first time up. 2 out in top of the 4th. 1-0 Reds. He'll stay in the game. And there's a ground ball to Oster. Oster goes to first, and that will retire the side. We won't need to show you the standings again. They haven't changed since we showed them to you about an hour ago. The weather, however, has changed. It's blowing in hard now from dead center at 21 and 70 degrees. Boomer Esiason's happy. Here's Van Gorder. Dave is 0 for 1. Honeycutt starts the 4th. With a fly ball, left center field. Landreau, 1 out. In fact, he made a diving catch on the turf. So he'll take the rug burn for the out. And it's good news for the Dodgers. They rely on power less than the Reds. Well, In 13 innings, the Dodgers have 1 run. The Reds have 5. Jay Tibbs has the lone RBI in this game. He now has 3 on the replay. And that's a base hit. So a single, that's the 5th hit for the Reds. And that'll bring up Gary Reedus, who has singled, walked, and stolen a base. Tibbs on first. Reedus strikes out, so through 19 batters, Honeycutt 70 pitches, 3 2/3, 5 hits. He has walked 2 and struck out 4. The run is earned. Concepcion 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Into left field, Guerrero rides the Schwinn, and that is an out. So the Guerrero with a diving, cartwheeling catch to retire the side. No runs, a hit, no errors. We go to the 5th, 1-0 Cincinnati. The Dodgers may already be on strike. They got a couple days to go before that happens. I was on vacation in New York when the strike hit. And before I had the chance to get angry, they settled. Duncan is 0 for 2. Tibbs is opening batter, 18 batters, 71 pitches, 4 innings, 3 hits, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts. So if you had 4, 3, 3, 3 as your pick 4, get your $200 and pass go. Pitch to Duncan, who's 0 for 2. There's a base hit center field. Reedus will pick it up. Duncan's got 2. 13th double of the year for Mariano. Here's Cabell, he's 0 for 1. Your daughter's getting married this Sunday. Very sweet. Congratulations. Bought her cards tickets for Saturday's game as part of her gift. They'll be watching Wainwright Yachty tie the NL record for battery mates at 316. Tying Warren Spahn and Del Crandall for Boston and Milwaukee. While they're still in Kansas City, while they're in St. Louis, Dad'll be in Kansas City visiting Howie Kendrick at the Negro League Hall of Fame and watching the Royals. Cabell 0 for 1 with a walk. Ground ball to Oster. Over to first and enjoying some barbecue, I'm sure. Yep. For the out, Duncan moves to third. And remember, I can set up a Cameo account, and some weirdo on the internet who calls fake baseball games can wish your loved ones a happy whatever for a small fee that I might get with a mock of it going to Cameo. Here's Landreau. Kenny 1 for 2. A double. Tying run on third. 1 out, top the 5th. 1-0 Reds. Here in game 2. Landreau will tie this game up. Duncan will score. Parker picks it up in right field. And the Dodgers finally have some offense. In fact, both teams have 5 hits in game 2. Brings up Pedro Guerrero. Landreau a threat to steal on first. The throw to first. Perez is there. And by golly, so is Landreau. They pitch out. There goes Landreau, and the throw goes into center field. Backed up by Concepcion, and so Landreau can't advance. So there's no error. But Kenny with his 11th steal of the year. So the go-ahead run in scoring position in a 1-ball count to Guerrero. Yeah, Petey, underrated hitter for sure. Guerrero laces that one down the line on cue. Landreau is going to score. Bell should have made that play. Guerrero is in with a double, and for the first time today, the Dodgers pull ahead, 2-1. So here's Brock. Greg is 0 for 1. He has walked and struck out. The Astros would love the Dodgers and Reds to do a middle school dance and just kind of cling to each other. But the Astros have to start winning some ball games. Brock is ready. 2-1 Dodgers here in the top of the 5th, 1 out. Tibbs deals. Walked him. So first and second, Pedro played his A ball, Guerrero, and Bellingham, Washington. I bet that was. So Tibbs may not survive the 5th. Marshall is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Tibbs could use a ground ball. Marshall will give it to him. Bell, Oster, Perez, 5-4-3 on cue, halfway home in game 2, but the Dodgers get 2 on 3 hits and no errors. It's 2-1 Los Angeles. Well, if you joined us late or left and you're watching this on YouTube, here's how we got here. Dodgers failed to score on a hit and 2 walks in the top of the 2nd. In the bottom, the Reds got an RBI single from Jay Tibbs to score Nick Osaski. How 1990 is that? Actually, Osaski was with the Red Sox then. 1-0 Cincinnati. In the 5th, the Dodgers got their first lead of the doubleheader. Landro with an RBI single to score Mariano Duncan to tie it, and Guerrero singled home Landro to go ahead, 2-1. And what's sure to be a bullpen game, Honeycutt 4 innings, 5 hits and a run, although he can only throw about 95 pitches. Jay Tibbs 5 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs. And so Dave Parker has struck out twice in game 2. He's 0 for 2. Reds took the opener 4-1, the second of 2 tonight, and after tonight, they still play 13 more times. Parker into left field, Guerrero, 1 out. Wow. Jeff Leonard and Rick Sutcliffe are on that team as well. Buddy Bell is 0 for 2. The Bellingham A-ball team for the Dodgers. Honeycutt winds and deals. There's a high fly ball to left. Guerrero, now he's going to reach in the seats, and that personality in Cincinnati just kind of parts the seas as well, and there's 2 out. Here's Tony Perez. Tony 1 for 2. Up the middle, Honeycutt off the mound, throws to first to retire the side. So, Reds go in order. We go to the 6th, 2-1, L.A. Steve Yeager, 1 for 1 with a walk. Yeager staring out at Tommy as Tibbs starts the 6th on 96 pitches. Tommy asks for Lasorda. Yeager flips him off. Gets in the box. Fly ball left field. Tommy laughing all the way to the bank as Osaski makes the catch for the out. And Yeager will acquiesce the next time. Here's Steve Sachs. He's 1 for 2. By the way, you can't override what the computer does. And 99% of the time, if the computer says, I want X, I'll let the computer do X. But there really was no reason to pull Yeager. It's been up to the plate 3 times and reached twice. Sachs has a single. That's in the left. Osaski. 2 out. Brings up Honeycutt. Does it let you rewind the last play? You can have that set. I'm not sure what you can see here, so I'll wait until I see it pop up on my screen. But as you can see, delete last play is grayed out. So whatever happens, it's just like Doris Day. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. Doris at one point dated Maury Wills. Que sera, sera. There. That'll bring back some nightmares for D. Scott Howard. 2 out for Honeycutt, who's 0 for 2 with the strikeout. But yes, you can put it in the options to delete the last play. But I play an honest game here, and I just don't need that temptation. And Len Matuzik will be the first out of the barrel here to pinch hit. 313 now. He pinch hit in game 1. 3 homers and 9 RBI. Doris was a huge Dodger fan for sure. Lived to be 100, God bless her. Matuzik. Ball 4. So Matuzik draws the 2-out walk. Tibbs right at the end of his performance here. 27 batters, 110 pitches, 5 2/3, 6 hits, 5 runs, or 5 walks, 3 strikeouts, and both of the runs were earned. Cincinnati native most of her life. Lived up in Northern California. Was a huge animal rights activist. This is not the type of thing you'd see on a Fortnite stream. A chat about Doris Day at 20 after 1 in the afternoon in the middle of the week. That's why I have 7 viewers, and some girl in a bathing suit 4 sizes too small has 7,500. Pitch to Duncan, who's 1 for 3. There goes Matuzik to throw down to Oster, and he's thrown out trying to steal. And so Tom Niedenfuer, is he really going to go 4 innings here? Anyway, he comes in the ballgame in the 6th, up 2-1. Isn't Doris Day the name of a Fortnite character? Maybe. I thought you named your own Fortnite characters. It's a strange move for the computer here, especially since he can only throw 30 pitches. So Niedenfuer making his 32nd appearance here. He's not in to close it because you're not going to only throw 30 pitches in 4 innings. He is 1-1 with 17 saves and an earned run average of 119. His last outing was July 23rd, a 3-out save, 13 pitches and a walk. So 37 2/3 overall, 27 hits. The Reds and Dodger fans are murmuring at this decision. 7 runs, 5 earned, a home run. That came to Houston on the 23rd of June. He has walked 10 while striking out 37. And again, 1-1 with 17 saves. And an earned run average of 119. And Jay Leno made a better joke over there. I was so bad on Fortnite that I named my character Rod Manfred. Yeah, I'd murmur at that one too. I don't get this one. But then again, without my help, the Dodgers are 64-36, so they really don't need it. Asaski is 0 for 1. A walk and a run scored. However you slice it, they need 12 outs. If Niedenfuer can give him 6, more power to him. And there's a strikeout, a fastball on the inside corner. 1 out for Oster, who's 1 for 2 with a single. Fly ball to right. Marshall, 2 out. D. Scott Howard is firing off a note to his congressman and Dave Cook. Here's Van Gorder, 0 for 2. Niedenfuer winds and deals, and that's a ground ball base hit through the box. So a 2-out single, and you're going to have to, you're going to pinch hit for Tibbs. And who can hit a righty? Well, Since I'm not Pete Rose, it's going to be Max Venable. 244 with 7 RBI. 429 as a pinch hitter. Van Gorder with my speed on first. 2 out here in the 6th. Venable hits a ground ball to Sachs, and that played him. And now, do you pinch run for Van Gorder? Although Reedus isn't much of a hitter here, he is 1 for 2 with a single, a walk, a strikeout, and a stolen base. And you bring in Cesar Cedeno to pinch run. So a single by Reedus would tie the ball game. And anything that gets around in these corners here at Riverfront is going to give the Reds the lead because Venable has speed to burn. So pins and needles time here in the 6th. Niedenfuer trying to get out of it. Here's the pitch. Into right, he will get out of it. Marshall will make the catch, and the Reds leave on 2. New battery coming in. Remember to change those 9 volts in your smoke detector. No runs, a hit, and an error, which does not hurt. To the 7th we go. 2-1 LA. Oh, I screwed that one up. So John Stuper will get the call because everyone else is pretty much on short rest. Stuper 0-6 with 3 saves. 5.15 ERA. He can throw some pitches and they can go to Franco when they need to. But right now, your smoke detector keeps going off. Well, that means you don't need to change your 9 volts. Stuper, kind of a Swiss Army knife, making his 25th appearance. 28 years old, a fastball pitcher, 86, and a ground ball pitcher. Last pitched on the 25th, so he's on a week's rest. In that 8-5 loss to the Expos, 2 innings, 19 pitches, and a hit. Niedenfuer entered in the 5th or 6th 8 times that year, finishing a couple of them. The thing is, I could see why you would do it, but he only has 30 pitches, and that is the fatigue indicator in this game. So there'd be no way, if you brought him in the 6th on 30 pitches, that he'd be able to get the 12 outs. I kind of get the move in a sense, but now I can't finish it. 78 2/3 for Stuper, by the way. 95 hits, 47 runs, 45 earned, 6 homers. He has walked 42. Hello, 1949, and struck out 18. Browning, by the way, pitched Wednesday. So he might get the call over the weekend, but it won't be in the doubleheader. Duncan 1 for 3 with a double and a run score. Billadero, if you joined us late, is an 8-6 behind the plate. Yeah, I wouldn't want to drive out there anyway. Wow. That's 5:29 here in downtown Burlington. Ridiculous. Stuper is 7 on the mound, by the way, with a 1,000 fielding percentage. And Bob Baylor is going to pinch hit. Baylor hitting .040 as a pinch hitter. 260, no homers, and 8 RBI. Dodgers up 2-1 as we start the top of the 7th. Popped up, left side, Bell by the pins, 1 out. Yeah, 20 cents in a week. Enos Cabell is 0 for 2 with a walk. And even for those of us who don't drive, of course, the rising price of food and the places that deliver now have gas surcharges, and that's completely understandable. So even those of us who don't drive are paying for it. To third, Bell across the way to Perez, 2 out. So Stuper killing some time now. And now you could see John Franco, maybe in the 8th or 9th. Here's Landreau. Kenny 2 for 3, a single, a double, his 52nd RBI, 55th run, and 11th stolen base. There's a ground ball to Oster, over to Perez, and that will retire the side. So it worked for Stuper. Stretch time in game 2, 2-1. Well, you guys get the quad of Candlestick if you survive the first 2 hours of this stream. If you've been with us since the start. Haven't heard from Matt in a while. Hope he's okay. Concepcion starts the bottom of the 7th. He's 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Base hit left side. Guerrero will throw it back in. And Davey has a single. 7th hit for the Reds. 2-6-2. For the Dodgers, they've left on 7. 1-7-0 for the Reds. And they've left on 9. Parker is 0 for 3. He has struck out twice. But now he's facing the righty Niedenfuer instead of the lefty Honeycutt. Tom throws to first, and Concepcion is back. Now he faces Parker, and Dave shoots this one into left center. Landreau makes the catch for the out. So a big out there. 1 out for Bell. Buddy is 0 for 3. Ground ball, base hit, right side. Concepcion will hold it second. Did I see the 2 boys in the stands in the 9th of the Philly comeback over LA last weekend? No, I didn't. Here's Perez. Tony 1 for 3. Niedenfuer coming down to the end of his pitch count. Yeager will remind him of that. Just get the ball down and let Tony grunt into a double play. Niedenfuer deals, and it's a ground ball that's going to get past Baylor at short for a single. Concepcion rounds third and will hold. And so they're loaded. Baylor is not a good shortstop. He is a 4. So they are loaded with 1 out for Nick Osaski. Right before Stott's game-winning home run, that's the poor kid that was hitting 115, one boy had tears streaming down his cheeks, and the other had his hands clasped and head bowed in prayer. Couldn't be older than 8 or 9. Then the home run happened, and the camera painted the boys again, and they were leaping like they'd won the lottery. And that's what baseball is all about. Absolutely right there. I did see the kid that wanted the Judge home run ball, and the gentleman in front of him gave it to him. Oh, yeah. Mike from the truck, who's done some directing. I'm not sure if he's done directing of actual baseball games. You know, they earn their money too. And that's why you do it. So Niedenfuer has him loaded here with 1 out in the 7th for Osaski, who was 0 for 2, a walk and a strikeout, and Nick has scored a run. Niedenfuer deals. Osaski hits a base hit in the left field. Concepcion will tie it. Bell is on third. He will hold, and so they remain loaded. And that's it for Niedenfuer. Kenny Howell coming in. The Reds have tied this game at 2 with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. Howell is 1-5 with 5 saves. He is making his 32nd appearance. He has an earned run average of .328. He's 25 years old. He throws it hard. That fastball tops out at 95. He is a standard pitcher. He goes to the franchise-owned gas stations, not the Chevron. He last pitched on July 31st. A save over the Giants, a 2-inning job, in a 4-1 win on July 31st. 2 innings, 23 pitches, and 2 strikeouts. So overall, 46 2/3, 35 hits, 21 runs, 17 earned, 3 homers. He has walked 18 and struck out 46. The game is Niedenfuers and Stupers at the moment. Bell on third, Perez on second, Asaski on first, and the Reds remain loaded, just like Marty Brenneman's old partner, the old left-hander. That's what you get for pitching in the majors at 15. Pitch to Oster. Howell delivers, struck him out. Oh, Howell got him on a 1-2 fastball at the knees, 2 out. And now the manager comes in. Rose 4 for 5 as a pinch hitter. He's hitting .800 with 2 RBI. 267, no homers, and 24 RBI. And if this wasn't a hallmark moment for Rose and the Reds, it's right here. Can he put them up? John Franco loosening in the pen. Howell trying to slam the door in a 2-2 tie. Rose into center field. And no one likes a mushy hallmark card anyway. Landro makes the catch. That retires the side. The Reds get a run on 4 hits and no errors. We go to the 8th, 2-2. So we'll do a double switch. Rose stays in the game, batting 8th. It is a 3. And Powell, who pitched 26 pitches in the opener and got the save, it isn't over until Shotzi takes a dump on the field. Allowed 2 hits and picked up his 14th save. He's going to try and get 3 outs. However, Brock is on deck. And let's see what happens here. PD 1 for 3, a double and an RBI. Got that on cue when Brad was talking about how much he admired him. Powers pitch. Got him! A 2-2 fastball swung on and missed. 1 out. Brings up Brock. Greg is 0 for 1. He has walked twice and struck out once. Powell, who threw 2 innings in game 1, delivers. Fly ball to right. Parker. 2 out. And here's Marshall. Marshall is 0 for 3. He has struck out and grounded into a double play. So 2 out, top the 8th, and a 2-2 tie. Howell and Powell are the pitchers of record. Struck him out. 1 inning for Powell. He looked at strike 3, and wow, what a big inning for the Reds reliever. No runs, no hits, no errors. Bottom 8, game 2, 2-2. So 2 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for the Dodgers, and they left on 7. 2 runs, 10 hits, no errors, and the Reds have left on 12. Dan Dello is hitting 126, a homer, and 6 RBI. Howell starts the 8th with a base hit to center field. No, yep, I think Landro couldn't get there. That's a single. You don't have any catchers left. Biladello has to run. Here's Reedus. Gary 1 for 3. He has singled, walked, and struck out. And stolen a base. Aren't you glad we picked this? This has been a fun day, hasn't it? Pitch to Gary. Strike 3. Howell got him to swing and miss on a 2-2 fastball. 1 out for Concepcion, who's 1 for 4. A single, a run scored, and a strikeout. Howell and Yeager get together. Not so far. Spoken like a true Dodger fan. Ground ball to first. Brock's only play is going to be to first. In fact, he knocks it out of the hole, flips it to Howell for the out. And Bill Ardello moves to second. 2 out for Parker. Dave has struck out twice. He's 0 for 4. Yeager, sacks, and pitcher spot for the Dodgers in the 9th. Pitch to Parker. Into center field. Landro going way back there. Off the wall. Bellardello will score. And the Reds go up 3-2. Dave Parker with an RBI double. Oh my goodness, that's number 26. Yeah, Big Dave, every day you get to watch baseball's a great day. Buddy Bell is 1 for 4. And the magic of Pete Rose is he's got it right. John Franco's going to now pitch in the 9th. 2 out. And they walk Bell for the pitcher spot. So first and second. For Wayne Krenchicki. The Dodgers go to their pen. They bring in the lefty Dennis Powell. Wayne Krenchicki. Oh, thanks. That's a short-lived thing. Tom Foley comes in. Let's tell you about Dennis Powell, making his 6th appearance of the year. He is 22 years old, a fly ball plus pitcher, a fastball at 90. And although changing the lefty for the lefty, that didn't really seem to help. Powell last pitched on the 28th, a start against the Cubs, which he lost 6-2. 5 innings, 97 pitches, 7 hits, 5 runs, all earned, 2 homers. He walked 3 and struck out 5. So overall, 8 1/3, 15 hits, 10 runs, all earned. 4 homers, 4 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Reds 3, Dodgers 2. 2 out, bottom of the 8th. Foley, 179 as a pinch hitter with 2 RBI. He swings a ground ball to Cabell, and Enos isn't going to be able to do anything with it. And they're loaded. And I think the Dodger fans are now loaded. And that'll bring up Nick Osaski. It was just a number off the end of the bat, and Enos just couldn't make the play. And that'll bring up Osaski, who is 1 for 3, a single, an RBI, and a run scored. Getting there. Is it legal in Washington yet? A walk and a strikeout. So Parker on third, Bell on second, Foley on first. The voice is starting to go. 2 out, bottom of the 8th. Osaski, line drive, base hit. Parker will score. Bell will score. And it's now 5-2 Cincinnati. It's 4:20 somewhere. Here's Oster. 1 for 4. He has singled and struck out. Foley on second, Osaski on first. Base hit up the middle. Foley will do what? The score is at 6-2. And the Reds have broken this one open. We told you at the beginning of this doubleheader about 2.5 hours ago, the Reds hit 15 shots at the Dodgers. So far, they appear to be 2 for 2. Here's Rose. He's 0 for 1. Saski on second, Oster on first. Base hit right center field. This place is going bonkers. Saski will round third. Saski will try and score on Marshall. The throw to the plate is not in time as it gets away from Yeager. Everybody moves up 90. And in fact, Oster rounds third and scores. It's now 8-2. And somewhere in the reaches of San Pedro, Chico's bail bond starts to warm up in the outfield. And somehow Dan Villadello gets to bat again. He's got a single. 8-2 Reds. They have put 6 across in the 8th. And Brad needs to keep quiet about my managing skills for at least a day. In the right center. And Landreau ends the nightmare. However, the Reds get 6. You haven't, but you haven't. You've been good. You've thought it, but you haven't. 6 runs. Today is that day. 6 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors. We go to the 9th, 8-2 Reds. And the only fresh pitcher for the Reds left is John Franco. John is 2-3 with a save and an earned run average of .397, making his 44th appearance. He is 25 years old, a fastball pitcher at 90, and a ground ball pitcher. He faced the Dodgers on July 2nd in a 4-0 win. He last pitched yesterday, as a matter of fact, in an 8-1 win over Houston. He went an inning, threw 28 pitches, walked a man and struck out a man. Overall, the future Met, 47 2/3, 47 hits, 21 runs all earned, 4 homers. He has walked 13 and struck out 30. 2-3 with 1 save. And an earned run average of .397. Let's see what they do with Yeager now. Steve 1 for 2 with a walk. He stays in the game and gets a ground ball base hit left side. Brings up sacks. Steve is 1 for 3 with a single. Dodgers need 6 to tie, 7 to pull off the comeback of the century. Base hit, left field. Saski picks it up. Yeager goes to third, and the Dodgers have runners on the corners and nobody out. Remember, that pen is empty. Is it just Brad, or does Sean Casey, the mayor, strike anyone else as MLB Network's version of Andy from Parks and Recreation? I don't know. So first and third, Dodgers will have to go to their bench again. Candy Maldonado. Candy does not have a pinch hitter. How many do the Dodgers have against Philly the rest of the year? They have 7. And they are 4-1 against them in real life, or 4-1 in the replay. This guy Howard needs to go across to Disney and borrow the rally monkey. So first and third, nobody out. Maldonado, 208, 5 homers and 13 RBI. Franco deals. Base hit left field. Yeager will score. Saski throws it in, and the Dodgers have won It's 8-3. Here's Bob Baylor, who was 0 for 1. Still nobody out. 3 runs, 9 hits, 4 errors for the Dodgers. They've left on 7. The Reds, 8 runs, 15 hits, no errors, and they've left on 13. Baylor, base hit again! Are you kidding me? They're loaded. And now, here comes Cabell. Franco hasn't retired a batter. All the best laid plans of mice and men. Cabell is 0 for 3 with a walk. The tying run is technically on deck with Landreau. Franco's pitch. That might be 2. Rose concedes the run. Concepcion for 1. No throw to first, so they remain loaded. No, they don't. They get Baylor, by the way. So first and third now, 1 out. Landreau 2 for 4. 8-4 the score now. 1 out. Landreau has singled, doubled, driven in a run, scored, and stole a base. And R.J. Reynolds will pinch hit. Lefty on lefty, that's the right move. R.J. at 243 with 12 RBI. He has a pinch hitter, he's hitting 125. Guerrero on deck. Franco finally has 1 out. A ground ball might get him out of the game. Dillardillo goes out to calm John down. Franco deals. That might be it. Concepcion to Oster for 1, and there's no throw to first. Well, there is, but it's late. And so Maldonado scores. It's now 8-5. So he still has room to work, but he's given up half the lead. So Guerrero is 1 for 4. A double and an RBI. The Dodgers have made this a ball game here in the 9th. It's 8-5. Franco, sweating bullets, so am I. 62, wind blowing in from center at 18. Ground ball to third. Bell to Oster, and that's it. That's it. The Reds have swept the Dodgers. It wasn't pretty in the end, but there is no such thing as an ugly W. They all count the same. So 8 runs, 15 hits, no errors for the Reds. 5 runs, 10 hits, and 4 errors for the Dodgers, including 2 by Enos Cabell. Pitchers of record, Jay Howell falls to 1-6. Ted Power coming in on the second half of the doubleheader when he only had 10 pitches, throws a beautiful 8th, and then the Reds explode like popcorn. So Power goes to 7-3, Howell falls to 1-6, and Franco, well, it's ugly, but it worked. Really quick the rest of the day in baseball. The Reds have cut the deficit now to 13. And they are 51-50. And they go above 500. Really quickly now, Cubs beat the Mets 6-5. Lee Smith with his second win. Darryl Strawberry is 13th of the year. Toronto beats Texas 5-1. Well, Alexander goes to 14-7. Giants beat the Braves 2-1. LaPointe with a win. Bedrosian needs to go to the pen. Montreal 6, Pittsburgh 2. Joe Hesketh goes to 10-9. Rick Russell with a loss. Brewers beat the Tigers 7-6. I gotta go back and do this. It'll be the... I thought I switched it. No. Cubs and Yankees. I mean, the White Sox and Yankees tomorrow. Milwaukee beat the Tigers 7-6. Vukovic 3-9. Tanana 3-4. Yankees beat The White Sox 9-5. Marty Bystrom 2-0. Britt Burns 7-8. Cleveland beat Baltimore in 10, 9-8. Reed beat Stewart. Larry Sheets is 12th of the year. Houston does get the win, by the way. So they do gain a game on Los Angeles. It's now 13 back. They beat San Diego 6-1. Joe Niekro, a 3-hitter. Billy Doran, 2 for 4. St. Louis, however, shuts out Philadelphia 7-0. John Tudor, a 3-hitter. Willie McGee hits his 9th of the year. So the Cardinals move to 10.5 up. The Red Sox get cooled off. Kansas City beats them 3-1. That's our bonus game early next week. Black with the win, Hurst with a loss. Seattle beats Oakland 4-3. Minnesota over California 4-2. Well, there you go. 2 hours and 26 minutes of magic for you. The Dodgers, of course, still comfortably in control, but it's nights like that that make you reach for the mailbox. And so, oh, by the way, the Red Sox and the Blue Jays are tied. Kansas City up on Oakland by 6. I'm Ron Juckett. Tomorrow, it'll be the Yankees and the White Sox from the stadium in the Bronx. Until then, have yourself a great day, everybody. So long.